Hello people of the internet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope your Monday and your week is off to a great start. I have just had the scare of my life. Had a bumblebee about the size of my thumb fly into my house and just like flying around. If you're asking why I'm out of breath, it's because I had to chase down the bumblebee, capture it, walk it down 7 flights of stairs to the lobby before throwing him out back into the wild. And my adrenaline's kind of on a high right now, so bear with me one moment. But we have new releases to check out today, and one that's very exciting for me as a fan of this group and who has been following them for a very long time. IVE are here. IVE have dropped their pre-release MV for their upcoming, I think it's called IVE album. I think that's dropping in 2 weeks' time or something like that, but B-side treated as the pre-release single titled Kitsch. Now, I don't know what this is going to sound like because I approach new releases completely blind, apart from one. And that was the MX release, but I had a different reason for that. So I have no idea what this is going to sound like. I do know 2 things about this song so far, and this is solely based off of the Reddit post on r/Kpop I saw this morning before I went off to cover my morning classes today. At one, it's one of the more divisive songs that I've seen based off of comments. And mind you, this is social media and kind of like a collective hive mind phenomenon going on. But 2, a psychological theory called semantic satiation. I always found psychology really interesting, and that there's something, apparently there's going to be something within the song that's really repetitive, and the kind of sensation of semantic satiation where the word is repeated so often that it kind of turns meaningless, or like it kind of turns into noise rather than like the actual word itself. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but at the same time I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But let's transition in and jump straight into the song. Here we go. Oh shoot, that's right. Ray has pink hair now. Low. This song's low in terms of the vocal register. What up, Liz? Let's go. Peep the harmony. Okay, we're kind of going with like a chill teen pop vibe. I can dig it. Haven't heard IVE sing this type of song before. Ooh. Love the way you said style there. Yeah, I'm kind of digging this teen pop vibe now. This is a little bit different for IVE, but I quite like it. Ah. Miss Kao Sunbae is Kao Sunbaeing. As a Kao bias. Come again? Ah, there it is. Okay. So they've gone for the more rhythmic, monotonous anti-drop? After one of the more vocally deep songs they've ever done? Interesting choice. I feel like we haven't gotten that much Liz in this song so far. Just in terms of the song and in the MV itself. Oh, there she is. Oh, never mind. There. Oh. We can talk about that chorus a little bit later. Rapping verse in the bridge also. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Got vocalist Kao. No, we get both. Oh, that's interesting. Compositionally, they're treating the pre-chorus as the chorus drop. Or as the first chorus drop in this final chorus. I quite like this melody in the pre-chorus though. The pre-chorus is really nice. And then it breaks out into this industrial, rhythmic, like, monotone anti-drop? It's not really an anti-drop, but... Indeed. Here's the thing. I like to keep my thoughts pretty honest here. Typically, when we break down songs, we break it down from like a compositional point of view and like a musical point of view. But in the end, I typically like the songs that we check out here. I don't know how I feel about Kitsch yet. Here's the thing. I don't dislike the song. I like certain elements of it. I think there's some compositional choices that are really interesting from a theoretical point of view. It's just the final execution isn't my cup of tea. And I just hope people don't take this as like an anti-IVE sentiment, because that's far from the truth. I absolutely adore this group with my whole heart. But this song just isn't clicking for me. Just kind of unfortunate, but that's, I think, perfectly okay. I don't have to like every single song that drops in the world, or especially in the world of K-pop, because Lord knows we check out a lot of songs here. But, you know, let's get the negatives out of the way now so we can end with the positives, because there are some positive things about this song that I really like and I really want to talk about. The chorus for me just... I don't know, it just doesn't really fit? The chorus is kind of tough because it's both really clever but also really divisive, and I can kind of understand why the songs have divisive opinions. But I kind of want to briefly touch on the elephant in the room, I think. Again, figure of speech. Let's make that clear. But I'm pretty sure that apart from the little like center choreo moments she got in the second chorus, that I'm pretty sure Miss Liz here only had one vocal part in the entire song, whether it be for, I actually don't know their voices all that well, but I'm pretty sure she only had this line. That's a little bit sus. I'm really hoping it's my ears not picking up the fact that she is in other parts of the song, but her only getting one line in the entire song, like regardless of if it is a B-side or not, just doesn't really sit right with me. Like, she has vocals for days. She's shown that she has vocals for days. The fact that you've kind of like relegated her to almost essentially like a bench role in the song, just maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff about it where it ended up being this way. Maybe she didn't feel confident on the song. Maybe the production team didn't like her voice on the song as much. Maybe some higher ups had a hand in it. I don't know. I'm not here to put on a tinfoil hat and make theories, but I just wish I heard more and saw more of Miss Liz. That's the main point of the song, I think, for me. But let's switch the tone a little bit. Let's talk about the positives. I want to talk from first verse, go all the way to the chorus, and just run through it really quickly. The slow register they're singing in is really cool. I don't think there's been a song that stayed in the register this low that IVE's done so far. It's our time. 우린 달라. 특별한 게 좋아. Oh, what a good time. 넌 잘 살아. 내 걱정 낭비야. 네가 보낸 DM을 읽고 나서 답이 없는 게 답이야. Like, even in terms of like IVE B-sides, this is low. And it's really low-key. It's a chill, like, just teen pop song so far. The way he so delivers that line, that's my style. There's a very, very short little vocal run she does at the end. It's really smooth. And the little vocal harmonies in the background is so cool. And it's pre-chorus? I love the little clapping in the background. Cowl, please leave me alone. You're my bias already. Like, even up until this point, the vocal register they're singing is pretty low. Just kind of surprising, because I feel like with IVE's songs, most of the songs that they've sung are pretty high. Like, there are parts where they sing low, like Narcissistic, oh my god, I love it, in Love Dive was pretty low. The like final chorus and little outro in My Satisfaction is pretty low. The chorus, or at least the first half of the chorus in Royal is low. Do it like a royal, diamonds and gold. Like, that's pretty low. This entire song is low. Really interesting choice. I like that they're showing a different vocal tone that we haven't really seen before. Cool stuff. Now, the chorus. Indeed. I reckon there are going to be people who like this chorus. It's got that kind of girl crushy vibe to it, you know. It's got that kind of like dirty beat to it. It does go hard. I will give it that. And I will give it this. Its repetitive nature makes it very catchy. But for me, that repetitive element does kind of like lower how much I like this chorus for me, and it is that whole sensation of semantic satiation. Psychological phenomenon in which repetition causes a word or phrase to temporarily lose meaning for the listener, who then perceives the speech as repeated meaningless sounds. And for me, honestly, it does kind of give me that feeling of just like, it doesn't really mean much to me. It just sounds like, okay, it's a melody line, but in reality there really isn't a melody line. It's very monotonous in terms of the pitch. But we'll jump back to it real quick. But what this is doing though is creating a focal point for the song in creating a really good point of juxtaposition between two different phrases of the song. So you have your very melodic, very almost like innocent sounding, youthful verse and your pre-chorus. Which I very much like. You know, I like the melody, I like the vocal ruahs and stuff like that. And then you essentially flip the script entirely. This chorus is essentially the furthest thing away from the verse and the pre-chorus as you can get while staying within like this kind of like pop genre or realm. You've removed the melody, you've removed the like top heaviness of the song in that it is lots of flowing vocals, and you've replaced it with lots of rhythm, lots of syncopation, lots of lower end bass with the 808. And what that's doing is creating the ultimate point of contrast within the song. It's meant to draw the readers, I think, treating it like it's a book, but the listeners in. Like, this is the point where the listeners are going to think, okay, what's going on here? And I reckon this is the point where the divisiveness comes into play. And I think that's okay. It's catering to two very different realms of, what do you call it? Like, type of music people like. I much more prefer the melodic half, and I think that's okay. I reckon there are going to be people out there who prefer this really hard-hitting chorus, and I think that's okay. It's giving me much the same feeling of NMIX's OO. I really like the middle melodic section. I wasn't too big on the like that section wasn't really my thing. It grew on me a little bit later, but I much more prefer the melodic section. I think that's just kind of showcasing what my preferences are when it comes to pop music. Is I much prefer the more melodically in-depth songs, and that's perfectly okay. But golly, this chorus will get stuck in your head. This the 90s kitsch. On the 90s kitsch. On the 90s kitsch. On the 90s kitsch. On the 90s kitsch. As like a chorus that's made to make an impact statement, it does a really good job. Is it my cup of tea? Not really, but that's okay. I wonder how people are actually taking this song. This, people who are like very supportive of the group are going to support the song. That's just kind of how fandom and like stan culture works. I'm not bashing that in any way. If you enjoy the song, you are more than free to enjoy the song. I'm not going to tell you no. And essentially kind of like what the lesson from like this whole reaction and like kind of like the life lesson for this overall is just that personal opinions are exactly that, personal opinions, and they shouldn't be, one, treated as fact and truth, and two, they shouldn't be forcefully imposed on somebody else who has a different opinion. My goal in doing, K-pop reactions and things like that is that I want to show a wider audience of people who maybe, stand one corner, like a couple of artists within K-pop, some other groups, or just kind of give my musical feedback on a song and just kind of break it down musically. I don't do this so that I can force my opinions on people. If I don't like something, I'm going to admit it, but if I don't have anything good to say, I won't say it. There have been videos I've scrapped in the past because I didn't have anything positive or meaningful to say about it. With this is a little bit of a different story, because yes, I may not like certain elements of it, but there are elements of this song that I genuinely, truly do enjoy, whether it be the actual execution of things or whether it be the conceptual side of things. There are elements of the song that I truly do enjoy. There are parts of the song that I have problems with. That's perfectly fine. But the ultimate goal for this is that I don't want to come across as me pushing an agenda on somebody. That is the last thing I want to do. That is the one thing I hate about stan culture, is that seemingly there just is no limit to some people and just pushing an agenda on somebody. And it makes me so upset, because it makes like enjoying the music that much harder for me. Because I tend to notice a lot of the negative stuff in like social media and things like that. And that's to my own demise, but is the nature of the internet nowadays. So hopefully the negatively minded people don't go and just bash this song to oblivion, because the members have worked way too hard on this entire project, whether it's just be this song or the entire album coming up. They have worked their butts off, and they have worked too hard and put too much effort in to get berated nonsensically by some auntie on social media. That's it. Love your groups, appreciate your groups, stand your groups, but be respectful about it. That's all I ask of you. And even if I didn't really like the song as much as I wanted to, that's perfectly fine. I'm still tremendously excited for the full album. But that's it for me today. Thank you all for listening to me kind of like ramble and get my thoughts across on this, because I feel like this may be one of those times where you need to keep a level head. And I hope that my audience at least are able to keep it respectful and things like that. But that's it for me today. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy and want to see what channel icon is, up there you can find the back catalog of stuff I watched in the past. Drop a subscription if you want to keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos. And if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, bye-bye.